Welcome everyone to Doga Yoga. My name is Melody.
This is Danny, the foster dog.
Arlo's chilling off camera. And today we're doing a beautiful 20-minute yoga for connection class. So before we get into it, I'm going to draw today's affirmation out to random and we'll see what we will be focusing on today. So today's affirmation is, I really like this one. I choose to be kind to myself and love myself unconditionally. So this is actually very similar to yesterday's class. I choose, which I think you all know I am a fan of. It's easy and also very difficult when we get caught up in the I can'ts, I'm not good enough, all of those negative phrases that we tell ourselves again and again. But try for a little bit in this class today to pause. If you have any of those thoughts, try and pause and choose to redirect them in another way, or simply just bring your awareness into the present, step back from those thoughts for a moment and into the present moment. So we'll come on down into our child's pose to start our yoga for connection class. Big toes together, hips towards the heels, walk the hands forward, forehead down on the earth. Oh, so nice. And start to welcome yourself into this place, into the rise and fall of your breath, and connection to the earth and sky. Inhale, feel the belly, the ribs, the collarbones. And exhale, soften and release. Inhale. And exhale. Start to check in with the breath and see how it's showing up for you today. Is it short and shallow, deep and full? There isn't any right or wrong answer, but just connect with your body. See how it's feeling. And when you're ready, start to count your next inhale. It might be 5 counts, 7 counts, 10 counts. And exhale, see if you can start to make it just as long as your inhale. So counting your inhale and counting your exhale. Starting to create a beautiful, even yogic breath. Your breath might be getting deeper and slower. Just observe. And throughout our practice today, find this connection to your breath. Find your connection to your inhale and exhale. And if you feel the mind wandering or going off, that's fine. Just bring your awareness back to your inhale and exhale. Feel the connection of the toes, the fingers, the knees, the forehead on the ground. And start to connect with the body a little bit now. Observe how we're feeling. Are we quite stiff? Is this quite hard for us to get into? Is there any tension from side to side? Do you come into this shape quite easily today? Feeling a sense of surrender and release. Just observe the body and take a moment to notice the niggles, the sensations side to side. With the rise and fall of your breath. When we're ready, we're going to gently lift our forehead up, walk our hands towards our knees, and bring our knees hip distance apart or even closer. Gently calming on up here, and we're going to tuck our toes under so the backs of our toes are on the ground Our hips are stacked on our heels and our hands come to heart center. So this might be quite intense for you. So just go to where feels good. You might have your hands in front of you, taking some of the weight. You might even be on a block. Hello, darling girl. Good morning. Good morning. So just come to where feels good to you and find your connection to self. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Notice the sensation on our feet. Notice any sensations coming through our ankles, our lower back. We might tuck our tailbone under here, find more length in the spine. Just try and find a little bit of stillness. It's a very interesting pose. It's something we don't do to our feet very often, really opening up the soles. So just try and find some stillness, find some softness and release. On our next inhale, we'll place our hands next to our knees and come up onto our toes. So we're coming into an actual toe squat here. So play here, balance on the toes. And if we fall out, it doesn't matter, guys. Come on up. So you might just be on the fingertips here. You might have your blocks here to help support you. Really, really great. Blocks bring the ground closer. They are our friends. Or you might be able to rise on up. Core is on, legs are strong. Squeeze the knees together. Hands on our thighs, so good. We're going to really activate here, squeeze the glutes, come on up. Big arm circle, up, overhead, fingertips touch. And exhale, walk to the top of our mat and bring our hands down to heart center. Place our thumb on our sternum, relax our shoulder blades down the back, find length in the spine. When we're ready, we'll do one big arm circle all together, up, overhead, fingertips touch. And exhale, back to heart center. 2 more, inhale. And exhale. Really find the connection with breath and movement here. Filling up your lungs, opening up your hands, touch the fingers together. And exhale, let all the old air go. 1 more, inhale. And exhale. Interlace the fingers, find length in the spine from the shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, round out the spine, bend the knees, tuck the tailbone under, chin to chest. Inhale, send the palms high, find breath and movement. And exhale, release. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, palms to the sky. And exhale, release. Inhale, find a length. Exhale, push away. Inhale, rise up. And release. Walk the feet just a little bit wider than that. Turn the toes out. Bend the knees. Tuck the tailbone under so our spine is still straight. And we're not creating a big curve, compressing our lower back. We're really tucking our tailbone under, finding length. Our perineum to our navel is hollow, so our lower belly is hollow. Bend here, bend the knees, and just rock. Waking up the hips, waking up the legs. Flexing one foot and then the other. When we're ready, send the hands down towards the knees, spine is long. Drop the right shoulder, look over towards the left. Come back to center. Left shoulder, look over towards the right. Back to center, right and left. Come back to center, left, and gaze goes towards the right. Come on up, big arm circle, up overhead, fingertips touch, and we're going to start our flow. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees generously for the first one. Really relax and release here. Hello, Arlo. Shake the head yes and no. You might straighten one leg and then the other. Warming up the body. And when we're ready, place our hands on our shins, coming up to halfway lift, push away. And exhale, find that connection to breath and movement, fold. Bend our knees generously, plant our hands, and we're all going to step back into our downward facing dog straight away for our first flow. Find length in the spine here. And exhale, send the heels down and away. Inhale, open up the heart, open up the chest towards the thighs. And exhale. Inhale, lengthen one more. And soften. Now we're going to flow forward into our plank position just to really warm up the body here. So tuck the tailbone under, roll the spine like a wave so the shoulders are stacked above the wrists, straighten out the spine, neck is long, plank. And exhale, push the hips back into downward facing dog. Inhale, roll into plank, spine is long, shoulder blades are down the back. And exhale. One more, inhale, hold. You can drop to the knees here if you need. And exhale, so nice. We'll all roll forward into full plank or half plank, whatever feels good for you. And exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Untuck the toes, come up into our cobra in our time. And exhale, lower. Make our way back into our child's pose for our first one today. Forehead towards the ground, relax the shoulder blades down the back. And when we're ready, tuck the toes, press into the hands, come up into our downward facing dog. Now you might pedal the heels here. Just move really mindfully in the body. Flowing with breath and movement, find that connection to the earth, your body and the breath. Come back to stillness when we're ready. We'll bend our knees, look towards our hands, and step our right foot up behind our right wrist. Gently step our left foot up. Find length in our spine on our inhale, and exhale, fold. Bend our knees generously wherever we are. Roll on up, vertebra by vertebra. Hands wide, up overhead, fingertips touch. And back to heart center. Place your thumb on your sternum for a moment here. Just really find the straightness of spine. Find your center. Reconnect with your body and breath. When we're ready, big arm circle up overhead, fingertips touch. Exhale, fold forward, hinge at the hips. Inhale, come on up, halfway lift, push away from the knees, straight spine, shoulder blades down the back. Activate the glutes. And exhale, fold. Bend our knees, plant our hands, step on back to plank or half plank, whatever feels good for you. And just send our crown of the head forward a little bit, so we're really balancing here. Lower down, elbows into the side body, chaturanga. Untuck the toes, press into the tops of the toes, the hips and the hands come up into cobra, bent elbows. And exhale, lower. Send your hips towards your heels, come into your child's pose, nice and relaxing, connect to the earth. And when we're ready, make our way up into our downward facing dog. Breathe here, find that connection to the earth, all 5 fingers, all 5 toes, open up the chest, and exhale, soften. Inhale, and exhale, inhale, and exhale. When we're ready, bend our knees generously, look towards our hands, step our left foot up behind our left wrist, step our right foot up as well, come back into our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, find length in the spine. And exhale, fold. Bend the knees super generously, roll on up, tuck the tailbone under. Big arm circle all together, up overhead, fingertips touch. And back to heart center. We'll go again. Inhale, up, fingertips touch. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Bend the knees generously, plant the hands and go through your flow. Plank, and just come forward a little bit if you can, onto the very tops of the toes. Lower down, chaturanga. Untuck the toes, press into the hips and the hands. Come on, up into cobra. And exhale, lower. Make your way into your child's pose, nice and relaxing. Find that moment of connection to the earth before we come up into our downward facing dog. Press into all 5 fingers, all 5 toes. Find that balance in the body and reconnect to your breath here. Is it fast or slow? Is it even? And when we're ready, we're going to kick our right heel up into the sky. We might just take it off just a millimeter. We might kick it super high, keeping those hips aligned. And we're going to bring that knee towards our nose, squeezing here, and then getting that foot in between our hands, coming into a lunge. So option 1 is to lower this back knee down into our crescent lunge, or you can keep it up. So either option as we rise on up, hands up overhead, interlace the fingers and push the palms away above us. Breathing here. Wherever we are, we're tucking the tailbone under, finding length and breathing. When we're ready, send the hands wide and reach them out towards the back. Open up our chest, open up our heart. And when we're ready, we're going to send our hands to frame this front foot and just step back into our downward facing dog. We'll go through our flow. Plank, chaturanga, come up into our cobra, and exhale, lower. Everyone make their way to child's pose for a moment, connecting their forehead towards the earth, finding that connection to body and breath. And when you're ready, send the hips up and away, back into your downward facing dog. Finding length on your inhale, squeezing the shoulder blades down the back. The neck is long, the jaw is soft. Squeezing the biceps in towards one another. The lower belly is hollow. So find your connection to your body here. Feel this pose. Activate the kneecaps. And when we're ready, we're going to kick that left foot up just a little bit or all the way to the sky. Find what feels good. Bring that knee to nose, squeeze, and step that foot through. So option is to come down onto the knee here. You can pad it here as much as you need. Or rise on up into your crescent lunge. Interlace the fingers. Send the palms high. Open up the chest. And slight bend in this back knee if you need to tuck the tailbone under to find that nice straight spine. Breathing here. And when we're ready, send the hands wide. Point the fingertips back. Open up the chest here. So nice. Then sweep the hands down, frame that front foot, and then go through your flow. Plank, chaturanga. Come up into your cobra. And exhale, lower. Make your way into your child's pose. Relax and release here. Really just let it all go. Find your connection to the earth and the breath. And when we're ready, we're going to tuck our toes, come up into our downward facing dog. Bend our knees generously, look towards our hands, step our right foot up and then our left into our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, just really savor this forward fold. You might straighten one leg gently and then the other. You might be still, you might have the arms around the elbows in your ragdoll pose. But wherever we are, just focus on the neck, the jaw, the shoulders. And just sigh out any tension here, any clenching and holding on. And already bend the knees generously, roll on up. Big arm circle up overhead, fingertips touch. And back to heart center. Breathing here for a moment, find your center. Place weight into our left foot, and we're just going to step our right foot back, turning our left toes towards the side. So our toes are pointing the long edge of our mat. Bring the toes in, heels out, hands come to our hips. Find length here, and then exhale, fold forward. Now you might have a block here with your hands coming halfway, finding length in the spine, or you might feel that it's easy for you to fold a little bit more. Keep that spine straight. You might even take the feet a little bit wider to be able to fold at the hips rather than from the lower back. And just allow yourself, or just allow gravity to take you down. You might have slight bends in the knees. And same as before, just relax the neck, the jaw, the shoulders, letting any tension melt away. Now, if you'd like a variation, walk the right hand forward, send the left hand towards your right shin or toe. So just coming into a gentle twist here. So you might breathe here. Nice, gentle release. Come back to center, send the left hand long. Find length in the spine, send the shoulder blades down the back. Send the gaze towards the left, so reach the right hand towards the left and fold. So nice. If you can't get it there, just send that hand just a little bit that way. Still sending the shoulder blades down the back, so we're not crinking or crunching our neck to try and find this twist or movement. When we're ready, come back to center. Walk the hands in. Find length in the spine. Really bend the knees. Tuck the tailbone under. Hollow out the lower belly and rise on up. Turn the toes to face the front. Big arm circle up overhead. Fingertips touch. And back to heart center. Place our hands on our hips here and just turn our heels in. And I just want us to rock from side to side, flexing one toe up and then the other. One toe and then the other, just gently getting into the knees, into the hips. It's a really nice movement and it's a precursor to our Skandasana pose. So we can just stay here or we can come and plant our right foot down, send our left toes up so our left leg is straight. We can start to sink down into a squat here. So your hands just might be here, your hips might be up, you might be on a block. That's option 2. Option 1 is just staying up, or you might be able to send the hips all the way down. You might be on the tippy toes, or this foot might come flat. Might not ever come flat, the joys of motorbike accidents. And just breathe here. You'll have a beautiful opening in the hip and thigh. So hands can be on the ground, spine is long, or you can bring the hands to heart center, breathing wherever you are. So nice. Place the hands down and we're going to walk our way over to a squat on the other side. So turn the left toes forward, come on over, flex those right toes and sink on down to the other side. And just notice the difference. Be super gentle in your transitions here. Notice and connect with the body. Find what feels good. So you might be on the toes. You might have this foot flat. You can bring your hands in at heart center and still finding that straight spine, just as we would in a normal squat. Breathing. And when we're ready, going to place our hands down, rise on up, turn our toes in and then our heels. Toes in and then our heels, walking our feet in towards hip distance. And just as they're just a little bit wider than hip distance, we're going to sink our hips down into a squat. So you might have a block here that you sit on. You might be sitting on a chair. Or you can have the hips coming all the way down. Now you might be on the tippy toes once more, or you might be just having the soles of the feet on the ground. Wherever we are, bring our hands to heart center, shoulder blades down the back, and breathe. Really ground down here with all 4 corners of the feet. So really push into the feet, ground the tailbone down, and grow taller in the spine. Find your connection to your breath once more. And when we're ready, simply roll on back. Hello, Papa. Hello, Arlo. You coming for cuddles? Good boy. We're going to roll on down onto our backs, everybody. Hello, darling. Feet in towards our hips, shoulder blades down the back. And we're going to come into a bridge pose. So take your time, walk your hands towards your heels and really start to push into your big toes. So you can feel your tailbone tuck, you can feel your lower back press against the earth, and you can find that the hips naturally lift when you put a lot of pressure into your big toes. So just play with that feeling with your inhale and exhale. And when we're ready, we're going to inhale, find length, and exhale, send the hips up and away. If I can do this with Arlo here. So you can just have your shoulder blades down the back, pressing into the earth. You might wriggle them underneath your body a bit more, clasp the hands at the lower backs and the hips up. And wherever we are, just breathe, pressing into all four corners of the feet, still squeezing those knees in towards one another. And the neck is long. So we're not sending our gaze towards the screen, we're just keeping our chin towards our chest. That neck is nice and long on the earth. When we're ready, release the hands, roll on down, vertebra by vertebra. Press the lower back against the earth. Bring one knee into our chest, super slowly and gently, and then the other. Give ourselves a hug and just rock here. Be super gentle and just find that moment of connection to the earth, connection to your body and breath. So easy to feel disconnected in this world, which is crazy because we have so many ways to talk to other people with technology. But often it's now that we feel the most alone. So take this time to reconnect to yourself, reconnect to others around you who are important. Bring the soles of the feet towards the ground and then just bring the soles of the feet together and the knees flop out wide. You have an option to also take the legs long here for our Savasana. So place one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. And with each inhale and exhale, how beautiful, even yogic breath. Take time to connect with self, your true self, and connect with others who really mean a lot to you. That's good. When we're ready, we'll gently start to send the arms up overhead. The legs long, wriggle the fingers and toes. And make your way up into a seated position in your own time. Legs crossed, or you can have one leg extended. Find length in the spine here. And we'll take one big arm circle all together, up overhead, fingertips touch. And back to heart center. Press your thumbs on your sternum. Connect once more with your breath and body. Thanks so much for practicing with me today, beautiful yogis. Sending you lots of love and gratitude. Namaste.